Premier League fans, time to get settled on in as we got another match week that approaching us this weekend, and Matt and I are here to break down every single game in the match week, and it kicks off Thursday action between City and Tottenham. What's going on there, Matt?
Just watching a little bit of soccer on this, kind of dreary Wednesday afternoon. You know what I mean? Just kind of wrapping up some stuff with work and got the matches on and stuff. And hopefully, Leeds can score another goal in the second half.
I think they will. They're going to pull the reins back here in a little bit and get rested for Brentford over the weekend, given it's 3-0. But somebody will score a goal. Do you need Leeds exactly or just a goal?
I need Leeds to score another one. I need Leeds to get to 4. They've got some firepower on the bench, and it's
Oh,
one of
yeah.
those where you come on and you're up 3-0. You're like, all right, well, I want to go, score one too. So
Exactly.
yeah, this should be okay.
All right, we'll keep an eye on that. We'll keep an eye here on Crystal Palace, Man United, where Man United just got a goal, looks like just before halftime, so they'll carry a 1-0 lead into the dressing room. Matt, before we jump into the normal matches, like we do on every breakdown, there's kind of two things I want to run by you real quick. First of all, City, United, Rashford, I think he's offsides, and that goal should be disallowed. Where do you stand on the Rashford play, where Bruno ends up scoring?
100% offsides in my mind. He completely he changes the scope of the play entirely by where he was positioned. So it wasn't bad for me. I had a little bit of 2.75 over, so I won a half unit on that play. But yeah, I mean it was we did pretty well last week, by the way.
Yeah, we did well. We definitely did well. We had good plus money bets with both teams to score and over 2.5. Thursday was Fulham, Chelsea, ran it back between Villa, Leeds Friday. We did do well. The other thing I want to ask you have you ever seen it? I was holding on to Newcastle clean sheet. Mitrovic with the PK kiss off the left shoe. Have you ever seen that to cash my Newcastle clean sheet?
What was it, like a win and then a clean sheet, or what do you mean?
Just a clean sheet.
Oh yeah, we
Just a
didn't
clean sheet.
score because of that. Oh yeah, duh. That oh my god, I cannot believe that's well. I mean, that's one of those bets that you got to always remember when you get bad beaten and shit, because that's a great win.
That's a great win. One that I thought Newcastle deserved. They dominated Fulham. They had hardly any chances that entire match. So I thought the PK was the right call, but just kind of harsh, just how Newcastle dominated. And then when he kicks it off his left foot, I'd never seen anything like that. So, okay, all right. And then the other quick thing I want to ask you real quick is Moyes, Lampard, Rodgers. Anybody getting sacked or no sack just because there's nobody available?
I don't know. Tuchel's kind of seems like he's breathing down some of the necks of one of these
That's
guys.
who I was bringing. I was gonna say that. I was depending on
Yeah,
what you said. He's got to be coming for one of these three guys. Tuchel.
yeah. I wouldn't. I mean, I think it would be a dream hire for West Ham. To have him Europa League second half of the season type stuff. Like, I still believe in West Ham. Like, I think that they would be a tough team to knock out in Europa. So, it just I'm not sure though. I think it's at some point it's best to like just stick with what's going on right now. But
I
it's
I think you said it on last week's show. We're not at the halfway point. I think this is the halfway point. This is the perfect time. It's a halfway point. Get Tuchel in if you're Everton, if you're Leicester, or if you're West Ham. So, okay, I just wanted to get your thoughts on a couple of those moments. But I thought those were some of the bigger moments from the last match week. Let's go ahead and kick it in. We do have that comment section in. So as we're going through these games, you kind of drop in your leans, drop in your bets in that comment section. Love to hear from you guys out there. Let's kick it off tomorrow. We'll do Manchester City versus Tottenham. We've got Tottenham in a situation where now they've gone 11 of their last 12 fixtures. They've conceded first. Arsenal obviously was the team that did that most recently, and Arsenal was able to pull off the 3 points there in the North London derby. Tottenham, though, has had success in this head-to-head, Matt. 4 of the last 6 head-to-heads against City, they've been able to pull off the win. I think that's because Tottenham's okay not having the ball, and they'll hit you on the counter because that's one of their strengths, if not their strength. So not too surprising. They've had a lot of success in this head-to-head. What are you thinking here in this matchup?
I mean, I think the Tottenham are in a bad place. I had kind of hit Arsenal pretty hard. I had some Arsenal at plus 110 when the lineups dropped, and I had a half unit on Arsenal and both teams to score yes at plus 350. And that one didn't come in, but I thought it still should have come in. I mean, Tottenham did apply some pressure in the second half, but it was too little too late.
Hmm.
This looks like a spot where City kind of right their wrongs over the last couple matches. I would be nowhere near Spurs, but I do know. I mean, you're right. Like this is kind of the match where you do look towards like a world class manager, and Antonio Conte. He is a world class manager, regardless of what's going on right now. And these are kind of those matches where you expect him to be able to get the tactics right, to be able to hang in this game, and yeah, frustrate on the counter attack. We saw, United have some success there, and you would like to think that Son and Kulusevski and Kane can do something. And that match last year in this fixture was wild stuff.
Hmm.
One of the best matches that I've watched, really. Um, I don't like Kane in these counterattacking, type of matches, though. I think that it's better to have quicker players up front, but it's just hard to find the value. You
Yep.
know, what I mean, I look at this and I say both teams to score no, plus 100. Why is the both teams to score yes the favorite in this matchup?
I think
I'm
it's
not
just
sure.
because Tottenham has had success. Everybody assumes City will score, and Tottenham's had success in the head-to-head, so they think they'll at least get a goal.
Yeah, I would. I'm not sure. I'm not sure that they do score. It'll be close. Um, you could go back maybe to a decent angle plus 113. Just kind of coming up with my ideas and stuff right now is City and under 3.5.
Hmm.
Kind of thinking, hey, I'm not sure that Spurs get on the score sheet. If they do, it's probably only one goal. And I can see City, they're not in a great form right now on the goal scoring front. And you'd like to think that Conte can put them in a good enough shape to frustrate City a little bit. So worst case kind of 2-1, but I see this 2-0 to City. That's where I see this game.
Yeah, one player I would see struggling in this matchup, and even go to minus 139 if you want to take that to 4.5 and just feel a touch better, is I wouldn't expect much from Holland. Two straight games now, and obviously against some of the better competition in the league, and United and Chelsea. Chelsea, he only got really two touches of the ball, and he didn't do anything against United teams, or at least the better of the teams of the Premier League. At least, like I said, it's a short sample size. It's only the last two games, but Spurs, I think, have that same pedigree. Good managers, you mentioned. They'll be good, sound defensively. This is another team that can probably frustrate Holland and reduce the amount of good quality that comes into the service to him. So I really wouldn't expect much from Holland in this game at all, just based on United and Chelsea giving him no looks at the goal the previous 2 weeks. So if it's going to get done by City, I think it's going to be from the wing. It's going to be your Mahrez and your Fodens and even your Jack Grealish, who's in a nice little form right now.
Yeah. Yeah, I have no disagreement there. One thing I do want to point out though is I want to switch completely away from that and look at what's going on live. Aronson gets subbed in at half for Tyler Adams. Are Leeds just like going full bonkers? And should we maybe consider an Aronson anytime?
They're,
Liverpool has
they're,
been close. He's been really close recently. This seems like one of those matches where you come on and it's like,
oh, and Bamford too. He's going to want to impress.
yeah, Bamford as well.
Yeah, they're
So
getting goals. You're fine. That's one of those bets though. If you bet it, you've kind of already got a pending bet. So, I don't know, would you
true,
bet more?
true, true, true. But I do think that Aronson might come on and score here, and
I
at a
feel,
big price, it might be worth a look.
I feel you. All right, let's go ahead and now move it over to another game. Let's talk about this Liverpool taking on Chelsea game. Some facts for you guys in this one: under 2.5 goals and 5 of the last 6 head-to-heads has gone ahead and cashed. You've seen 4 clean sheets in those 6 head-to-heads. You've seen 2 both teams to score in those last 6 head-to-heads. How about the recently though? 4 straight draws in this head-to-head. 4 straight draws. The loser, Matt, is going to be really feeling the pressure that maybe the top 4 is going to be a little bit out of their grips. Maybe this campaign, if somebody can't get any amount of points, if they share the points, okay, then no big worries right there. So I'll tell you what, I've been listening to Jurgen Klopp's press conferences lately. I've kind of added his into the mix of the plethora that I like to watch each week. He got on his team after Brighton, was talking about how they were, kind of too gappy and they weren't playing team and their pressing. They looked great up against Wolves. They certainly solved that problem. I'm a little nervous with their midfield of Thiago and Henderson. It's looking a little long in the tooth. Henderson's just been wasteful with the ball the last few games. Henderson, I think, needs to just stay on the bench like he did against Wolves. I'd be fine with that. I think he deserves it. His play deserves it. What are you thinking here? Another big boy matchup, Liverpool and Chelsea at Anfield.
I totally agree. I would be probably starting the young Spanish midfielder like they did against Wolves. Beščić. I think that he's pretty decent. He's had whenever he's come on, he has looked good. You can tell that his legs are. Yeah, I mean, let's face it. I think that this is kind of the Liverpool end of their cycle in a certain sense of a couple of these key players. Like I don't think that I think that Liverpool next year will bounce back and be their normal Liverpool. I really do. I keep seeing all these tweets on Twitter and everything, like end of an era stuff. Like I would pump the brakes on that kind of stuff. But
Hmm.
I would just say that like the Fabinhos and the Hendersons of the world, like, yeah, Henderson's been like, how many hoof balls is he going to throw up the pitch? And just like, I'm so sick of that.
I know.
So,
I know.
so, and then Fabinho, he's a little leggy right now. I mean, these guys have played so many matches. People are not remembering how many matches Liverpool played last season. They played the most in all of Europe. I mean,
64. Jurgen Klopp has brought it up, I think, three straight press conferences. He's said exactly what and it matters. And you
it
throw in a
does
World Cup.
64 matches. And then in the middle, I mean, I'm going to say like this season is a little bit, it's like, it's almost like the COVID season a little bit. I mean, that was not as fluky because Liverpool had already wrapped up the title by so many points pre-COVID. But like this season is just weird. It's just a weird season. So I'm not going to say it's like fluky or anything, but it's just different. And um, look, I think that both of these teams, obviously, they need the points. They want the points. I think that João Felix was incredible on his debut, but then gets the red.
Hmm.
Are they just going to immediately throw in Mudryk here and like do that again? Like, what I mean? That would be so early, Jason. I think that they might do it though because they don't have any other options. Something tells me that Liverpool. This is Liverpool, Anfield, backs against the road, against the wall. I'm sorry, and I will be. I'll be on Liverpool here. I'll be on Liverpool money line, no questions asked. Honestly, in this matchup.
Two things for me on the Mudryk thing. Personally, I haven't really watched many of his games, so I can't speak on his qualities. Obviously, he plays in the Ukrainian league. Yes, they're in Champions League, but I don't think I caught a Shakhtar Champions League game this whole campaign. So I can't speak on really his quality, other than the highlights I go and look up to see who Chelsea signed. But everybody looks good in a 2-minute highlight package. The next thing
For
is,
sure.
boy, they're acquiring all the attackers. If you believe that they have Nkunku, now they have Modric. They got attacking for days. I know Felix is only on loan, but maybe they've got a little bit of a problem there. Some guys are going out. Sterling, Pulisic, they're going to have to send some dudes out. So they do have that dilemma. But that's a good dilemma when you have too many attackers. Liverpool, though, I was really impressed with that Wolves performance. Again, I listened to Jurgen's press conferences, and they got back to pressing together as a team, turning the ball over. There was somebody immediately there to give the ball off to and keep possession and really get after Wolves. Wolves didn't do much. I think they can carry that over now into this match here at Anfield. If you expect fireworks, Matt, Liverpool games have the most goals scored in the first half, 31. So I know I just gave out a stat that this head-to-head has seen unders, but this campaign, Liverpool games in the first half, nobody's seeing more goals in their games. Liverpool with 31 goals in the first half. So much like City Tottenham, I actually lean City money line, parlay that with under 4.5 goals. This one feels like an unders game. Maybe if you wanted to do a double chance to maybe make it a little bit sweeter, I would lean towards Liverpool being better of the two and do like a Liverpool double chance and an under, something along those lines. But right now, I don't have a bet for the first two games we've talked about.
Yeah, I'm not really anywhere close. I don't think on the City matchup. I could still be talked into like if finding the best price on Erling Haaland to score, just because I just think, look, he's missed out on two. I haven't bet either of them, so I want in, and I think that Tottenham's back line looks shakier. Like the teams that Southampton have gone up or that City have gone up against and not scored. I mean, United are in a great way right now. It's Spurs
Yeah.
aren't. So like I think that Holland likely gets back to being Holland. That would be my one lean there. I this is going to be a bet for me. I haven't placed it yet, but Liverpool on the money line here, they look good in this one. I think I think that they did have a nice bounce back at Molineux. I trust this back line. I trust they're going to go back probably to Robertson, Kanate, Gomez, Trent.
Mm-hmm.
I hope that they play the young Beščić, however you pronounce his name correctly, with Thiago and probably Harvey Elliott. And
Oh,
then
yeah.
Nunez comes back into the side, and they go Gakpo, Nunez, Salah. I think that has more cohesion and a better chance to get across the 3 points basically at home with Anfield at their back. I think it's a huge matchup. Obviously, whoever loses, or like if it would really be wasteful, and anybody in the top six, top four discussion will be preying on a draw here because the draw is definitely a massive, massive runner in this one.
Yeah, I agree right there. All right, let's go ahead and move it over to West Ham, take it on Everton, 18th versus 19th place. You see a loser here. We talked about maybe one of these three managers, including obviously the Leicester one, maybe gets sacked. One of these guys walks away with 0 points. I think one of them's getting sacked, especially if it's like a lopsided score line. If it's a 2-1 and it's a good performance and they just drop 3 points, okay. But if one of these two teams can do the job and get 3 points convincingly, it's Thomas Tuchel time, and I would be really nervous if I'm Moyes and Lampard coming into this fixture. How the hell are you going to predict a winner in this one? West Ham winless in their last 7 league games. Oh, and Everton's also winless in their last 7 league games. The last head-to-heads, though, the last 6 head-to-heads, 3 wins by each team. But the one common theme has been under 2.5 is cashed in 4 of those 5, or 4 of those 6, sorry. Another fixture where I don't really get involved with bottom feeders of the league. Teams, obviously, shitty form for both of them. Under 2.5 is cash. That's where I would lean in this one. Under 2.5, you grab a goal and you just grind it out, or maybe you do a both teams will score no. I think those are my 2 best leans, is both teams will score no and under 2.5. What are you seeing here in this one?
I don't disagree with you. I think that it's pretty clear cut here. Like the Everton are going to try to sit back and frustrate and try to do like I think that a good bet here, Jason. You're a possession betting guy sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
I bet West Ham dominate the possession here. I bet they dominate.
That's fair because that's kind of what Lampard's been doing. Yeah, we don't get those numbers till Friday from DraftKings, but yeah, that's a nice thought.
That's where I would be looking here. I think that West Ham dominate possession. Do they make the breakthrough or not? They sure as hell haven't been recently. But this is kind of a nice setup for Everton just because this is what they have had some success doing, is sitting back and countering like the City match. But yeah, I agree with you. I think that both teams will score no. I think that under 2.5 are all probably the better looks in this one. And yeah, so yeah, no, nothing here really for me.
All right, well, Thomas Tuchel better have his phone charged up because he may be getting a ring after this fixture. Let's move over now to Bournemouth and Forest, which, Matt, let's see if we can agree on this one. On the reverse fixture, we did not agree on this one. You were on Forest. I was on Bournemouth. I got the win. Doesn't really mean anything. I've win and lose a lot of these, but I do remember this one because you were on a Forest squad, which I leaned on the head-to-head, which Bournemouth, in that head-to-head, had won 3 of the last 4. Now you can make that 4 of the last 5. But Bournemouth comes in losing 6 games in a row. I'm going to lean back to what we talked about in the reverse fixture. I'm going to lean on the head-to-head, even though they've come in slumping. This game's at home. Forest is looking pretty good. They've gotten results in 2 of their last 3 Premier League games. But I'm going to lean on the head-to-head like I did when we talked about this game matchup, and like Bournemouth at home to I like them. This one's weirdly priced. Money line plus 175, plus 175. You thinking, oh, Bournemouth double chance? They're both minus 225 for both double chances. This one's easy, about as split as it gets. It's a coin flip, but I'm going to go with the head-to-head and take Bournemouth.
All right, I'll go back to it then. I'll be on the other side. I'd be on Forest draw no bet, just looking pure at form. Look at Bournemouth's last 6 matches. Mm-hmm. They've lost every single one of them. Forest have scrapped and clawed. If you look at Forest in their last 4 EPL matches,
it's been good.
8 points collected.
It's been good.
8 points. That's that's why they are where they are right now, and actually a somewhat comfortable 13th position right now. It's okay. They're scrapping and clawing their way back into the middle of the table. Bournemouth, no real confidence right now at all. So yeah, I would only be looking draw no bet here, Forest.
All right, it's time to get to a game where we didn't talk about our bets beforehand, but I think we both may have a bet in this game. Leicester and Brighton. Here's a goal differential for Leicester. When I looked this up, getting ready for this show, it was staggering. Leicester's goal differential in the season is 26 and 33. At home, where you should be playing better, it's 9 and 10. On the road, where you shouldn't be as good, it's 17-23. This one's at the King Power Stadium, so it leans more towards those god-awful numbers where they're not going to score at home, they're not really going to concede at home, but this is a Brighton team that we both like. They're 7th in the table. We talk about how they're a better away team. They're 4th in the table on away. You could talk me into Brighton double chance. You could talk me into Brighton team total over 1.5 goals, and I don't care that Leicester's only conceded 10 at home. I like everything about this Brighton team. You got a bet for this one, or anything you like in this one?
I would only be looking in agreement with you. I mean, look at the forms of these two teams.
Yeah.
Look, we're going right back to it here. I mean, 4 consecutive losses in the Prem for Leicester, 4 in a row. But who's over here collecting points? They've got 9. They've got 9 points in their last 4 matches, Brighton, and that was a valiant loss to Arsenal on the road, losing 2-4. They played them really tough.
Really.
So for me here, I mean, it's got to be looking towards Brighton. I mean, that's the only way. It is kind of it's a moment where it's just Leicester. You know, you really got to be looking towards the injuries here. Like they just don't seem like they have all of their guys, and it's really hurting them. So, yeah, I would probably be in agreement with you. I'd be looking more towards team total.
That over 1.5 basically at plus money?
I would be staying away from money line here and betting on their offense instead.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I think I've got to have 2 bets for this. I do have one official bet to give out from this game, but it's a parlay piece. I'll tell you what I'm going to parlay Brighton double chance with here a little bit later on, but they're not losing this game against Leicester. The double chance over on Bet Rivers is the best price at minus 295. Coming up in the show, I'll let you know what I've got that parlayed with. We've got 1-0 still at Selhurst Park, and we've got 3-0 at Leeds. Let's keep it going now with Southampton. Take it on Aston Villa. Southampton, no letdown with that win against Manchester City. Followed that up with a 2-1 win against Everton. Villa, winners of 2 of the last 3, getting points in all 3 of those games. Could be goals in this one, Matt. We haven't really talked about overs and unders much on this show, but this one could be goals. Both of these 2 teams, whether you want to look at overall over 2.5 or their respective home and away, they're just a little bit better than 50-50 on hitting that over. So this could be a one where you get some goals. What do you think?
I have absolutely no opinion on this game. This is probably one of the easiest ones for me to just say pass, because Southampton are kind of getting into a decent way now. You know what I mean? They've got some confidence. 3 consecutive wins in all comps. They've looked better. They've beaten City, which gives them a ton of confidence. And then on the flip side, you're looking at Villa. They haven't been beaten 5 of 6 in the Prem. This is generally a place where Villa do come and struggle. They've only won 1 of 6 on the road at St. Mary's. And Villa have been conceding though too. Like they've conceded. They've scored. They've scored 1 plus goal Villa in all of their last 8. So that's pretty decent. I mean, they're finding the back of the net. So I do kind of hear you, I guess, with the goals angle. Then it's just something about Unai Emery. I just he's a little bit negative at times, and I could see him like scrapping and clawing for a point here. But yeah, this one's tough. Again, just really a swerve here for me.
Yeah, I hear you. I don't have a lot of bets on this entire weekend card anyways. I'm kind of with Chris, though. I usually like to put together an over 1.5 goals parlay. Take a few games you like an over and just kind of drop them down. This is one that's going to make a parlay when I do find other things. It's probably going to be involved in the Bundesliga. I don't know if I can quite find enough Premier League games, but with the Bundesliga coming back this weekend, I like over 1.5 as a nice parlay piece this weekend. That's kind of where I'm at on this one right there. Let's move over now to Crystal Palace. They're going to welcome Newcastle next to Selhurst Park. This one, Matt, I'm smelling an under. Boy, am I smelling an under on this one. And then when I looked it up, it's like, oh yeah, the head-to-head supports it. This one has cashed under 2.5 in 12 of the last 13 head-to-heads. That's kind of the way I do when I go through soccer is I kind of look at all the fixtures. I watch the games like you, so it's like, oh, this is kind of what I think. And then I go do all the research. I thought under 2.5, and then I see 12 of the last 13 head-to-heads have cashed under 2.5. Newcastle's going to have more rest. Obviously, they're not involved midweek where Crystal Palace is involved right now. So I like Newcastle on the money line. I like under 2.5 maybe. I like Newcastle team total over 1.5 goals at plus money. And I like Newcastle, if you don't want to do money line, maybe dabble on a double chance. I like it all Newcastle. What about you? I'm going to continue riding Newcastle. They've made me so much money this season.
I know, and I like Newcastle on this spot. I like your under look more though. I think that Newcastle at times recently have been struggling to find the back of the net. But I think that when I've watched Newcastle, the one thing I've been really impressed about is their defense. They just don't give up a lot of chances. Like, it's basically going to be Zaha and like those guys getting like a couple little counterattacks.
That's it
Here. I think that this is trouble. So yeah, I'd be looking towards Newcastle, but I mean, maybe even a good look would be like Palace team total under, but that's probably pretty juicy. So yeah, those are just a couple like thoughts. I'm in agreement with you. I'd be looking towards Newcastle and looking towards an under here. I think it's pretty cagey.
I'll say I like the Newcastle money line in terms of whether or not I would do like a Newcastle team total over 1.5 at plus money or the under 2.5. I would maybe lean that Newcastle team total in agreement. In terms of scoring, Newcastle hasn't put them up, but watch that entire Fulham match. Maybe it's because it was a home fixture and everybody's better at home, but they dominated Fulham. They created a ton of chances. They deserved that 3 points, and the goal came super late. It was a goal they ultimately so deserved in that. But they created so much leading up to that. I remember holding on to over 1.5 and being like, how is this not cashing? Like, they're peppering the goal with shots and getting brilliant saves. I kind of like the Newcastle team total, but I really like that Newcastle double chance. So that's the official parlay. I found something to pair up with that Brighton double chance. It's going to be that Newcastle double chance. So you can get that at minus 150 over on Bet River. So that's the first official bet to give out is Brighton double chance, Newcastle double chance, minus 150 over on Bet Rivers.
It's fair.
All right, let's go ahead and now move it over along. We've got Leeds taking on Brentford. I feel like I'll just say the same stats even though I said them last week. Now we can say Leeds has cashed over 2.5 in 12 of the 18. In those 12 cashes, both teams of scores come along for 11 of those 12. Brentford has cashed in 11 of 19, 6 of 9 on the road, and their games average 3.3. Sign me up for both teams of scoring over 2.5 and don't complicate it. I'm going back
Totally
at
agree.
it.
Totally agree. I'm on this one, and then I'll complicate it a little bit too. Because everything that I'm seeing from this kid, Ganato, however you correctly pronounce it, maybe it's Nato and the G is silent, but this kid is special, Jason. I was telling you about him yesterday. I said, look towards the anytime assist or goal scoring market for this kid because he gets by fullbacks and he's got a good left foot to cross the ball into. And look what he does today. He scores 2 goals, in 30 minutes basically against Cardiff, and his confidence is starting to come alive. They are loving him there. This is the market isn't available yet. It's not up, but when it does come out, I will be on Ganato to score or assist. And it looks like we might have gotten Leeds a 4th goal.
I was waiting for you to wrap it up. I'm seeing Flash Score blinking. I know this is a big moment for you, so let's hope it sticks here on this one.
But have you watched him, Jason?
Are you watching? I was on TikTok Live when he scored his first goal. We watched it all on TikTok Live. He did like a jump volley left foot. I don't even think he's left foot, is he? I don't even watch a ton of him, but is he even left foot? That was a jump.
I'm telling you right now that
incredible.
This guy is just as good as what Chelsea just signed in like Mudryk and these guys. He is that. How much did they pay again? How much?
For Mudryk, they paid $100 million.
How much did Leeds pay for Ganato? Because they're going to really struggle to hold on to this kid. Dude, they got him for less than £4 million.
They're going to cash in maybe this summer.
They should try to hold off for one more year, and I think that they'll be able to get. Let's see what transfer market values them now. They only say 10. That is shocking. I swear to you, everything with my eyes tells me that this kid right now is worth easily 40, and still remember he's only 18 years old or 19. So he's only how old is he? He's 18 or 19. I know that for sure.
Wow.
He's 19, and I think he just turned it. He just turned it in November. This kid is special. I can't even believe like he's worth a lot more than 10. Like this kid is my buddy sent me this picture too of him side by side with Frank Gore. And he, he's, he looks just like Frank Gore. And honestly, he kind of plays like if Frank Gore were a soccer player, this would be Gore. He's just got pace for days, but he's like a little bowling ball, Jason. Like you can't bump him off his stride. He's thick and strong, and he's so good. He's
Yeah.
so good. So I'm just gonna keep banging the drum for Willie Ganato because this kid is special.
Yeah, I enjoyed watching him today. Let's see who got that goal. It was Bamford. Told you he wanted to come on and impress. And that is no VAR as we've got more commentary on Flash Score, so that one's going to stick. So no sweat, Matt. Nice cash going over 3.5 on a team total there.
Yeah, no,
They
actually, so it was just both. It was leads to score in both halves plus 100.
oh leads the score on both that. We got that,
Yeah,
and they are okay. He came off to your boy Ganato. He came off in the 60s, so they're getting ready now for this game against Brentford. That I'm going to cash a plus money bet at plus 106.
yeah, I think.
They're resting people. Rodrigo came off. Tyler Adams came off. Ganato's come
Yeah.
off. Just bring them all off. Whoever you want, Jesse March, just start bringing them off.
I know it's one of
But
those. Yeah, like I want to back Leeds in that one too because I think that Leeds are dynamite at home. They will have a slight edge on Brentford in this matchup. They will,
that's fine.
but they just still just you can't trust their defense.
They're
You,
going to
you
concede.
can't trust Leeds yet. You just can't. But you sure as hell can trust them to create chances and maybe net a couple.
Yeah, and Brentford's the right team to capitalize. I like everything about Brentford's attack. I mean, hell, Cardiff scored today. Granted, it was offside, so it didn't count. But I mean, Cardiff got 2 goals last week against them. Got a kind of a goal today against them. So that's a
Two teams
no-brainer bet.
know each other. They know each other very well. I mean, these two
Right.
teams they don't like each other. They've been championship foes now for many seasons. And
Yeah.
so both clubs on the right trajectory too. I like both of them. Both of them are, I think, soon to be consistent top 12, top 10 kind of teams in this league. I think that Brentford and Leeds are on the right path.
Good stuff right there. All right, let's move over now. We got Manchester City in action again because, again, we talked about their match tomorrow against Tottenham. Well, they're going to be in action Sunday against Wolves, where City has won the last 5 head-to-heads. Okay, now Wolves is going to have more rest, a couple more days. Obviously, they played Liverpool on Tuesday, where City's in action on Thursday. I think that's going to keep it low scoring. I think that will keep it low scoring, maybe because City comes in off Tottenham. They're going to rotate, and City's got the guys to rotate, but Wolves is always good. City dominates his head-to-head. This one smells like an under that City can pull out, just like we did City money line and under 4.5 for Tottenham. Because it's Wolves, you're going to have to bring it down to 3.5, and I'm fully comfortable with that. A City money line under 3.5.
I think that Wolves can pull off a shocker in this game.
Nah.
I really I do. And I think that this is a bet that I liked last year too, Jason. It was that I've always liked Wolves
On the
on
margin.
these on the margins, and I think that I even popped a money liner on this spot last year. It didn't come in, but they were close. They were able to hang in here. I'd like to find the best price on this one. I'm telling you right now, this is a team that I've been looking at because I've always liked this team. I like Liverpool, obviously. I love Liverpool. But I like, in the Premier League, you fall in love with some other teams. You like a couple other teams. Like I like Leeds right now. I think that, because they've got these 2 Americans and stuff, I'm paying attention to them a little bit more. Wolves, a team that I've always paid attention to.
Mm-hmm.
Wolves are a team that are making the right moves, Jason. If maybe this is definitely actually the time to bet them on a handicap. They will not get blown out here. I'm telling you that this Wolves team, like if you want a good parlay piece, Wolves plus 2.5 at minus 190 is a dream parlay piece.
2.5.
It's great. It's plus 2.5 plus 2.5. And go look at the players, Jason, that they're picking up. Lead score a fifth. They're picking up. They've got this Mateus Nunez in the middle of the park. Liverpool are all after him. Everybody's all after this kid in the summertime. He's gone. He's leaving Wolves in the summer. This is a really, really good midfielder. Combining him with Moutinho and Neves, and then they've got they've made these attacking signings recently. They picked up the kid from PSG that played for Spain, Sarabia. for a cheap price. They picked up Cunha for 40 million from Atleti. They picked up. They've got good attackers. Wolves are. I want here. This is a good one. This is a good one, Jason. Bet on Wolves from here for the next month to 2 months, and you will be profitable. I can see it now. I can see where the trajectory is going with this club. And yes, they are really frustrating to bet because
They are. They suck in attack.
they don't
suck.
their XG numbers are so shit.
You're right.
But I have got the feeling that those numbers will come more back to the mean, and they will start creating more chances. They have got more quality now. They've got more quality in the final third. Get Traore off the damn pitch. Get Traore off the pitch. Play Traore from 75 to 90, and
Right.
that's it. He's gone. He's gone. But remember, they made a managerial change. They're bringing in this Spanish player. They're making all of the right moves. I promise you, Jason. If you notate this up into the file section somewhere here, right back here,
Yep.
we will cash some tickets with Wolves upcoming. It's coming.
All right. I'm not going to do it against City. but
Yeah, City would be a little bit foolish, obviously, to do it, but I just think that it's coming. It
Yeah.
is coming. This is a tough matchup for them.
That spread that
But
you mentioned of 2.5 hasn't hit in 3 of the last 4 head to head. I don't even know if I can get there just because City just creates too much and Wolves creates nothing. I'd rather do, and I'm going to wait for it to come out. It always comes out on Friday. Shots on target. I'm taking under 2.5 in Wolves. They will not have 3 shots on target against City.
actually, I love this one. No, I love this one actually. Both teams to score yes at plus 125. Wolves score. Wolves score against Man City.
All right, I'm just going to run through the recent head to heads. They got 1 shot on target in the most recent head to head. They got 3, so I'd have been sunk right there on under 2.5. They got 1. Hell, they only had 2 shots. They only had 1 on target. Then another one, they had 1. So we've got 3 1s and a 3.
This is a different squad now. This is different.
They didn't do shit against Liverpool yesterday, and
Oh, they were creating. If you actually look at the XG was Liverpool had 0.29 with
again.
a fantastic wonder strike by Harvey Elliott. You know what Wolves XG was? It was like 1.5 or 1.6. They were creating.
So we're counting when Traore streaks down and just slashes that one and doesn't force the keeper in a save. That's an X. Is that an XG? Because to me that never even should factor in because he's so bad. But it should be an XG. A quality player is going to create something there.
I had a small bet on. Oh, I was on Wolves plus a quarter yesterday. That one didn't come in, but it should have, based on the numbers. It really should have. But even in the second half, when I started seeing the subs coming in for Wolves, I was like, you know what? I think they're going to score. And I bet them at plus 195 to get a goal. It didn't hit, but I still think that I was on the right side of it. So that's just – and I saw their play. They were cutting Liverpool open. They were cutting them open. They have the capability now. So, like, when they play a shitty team, let's say like Bournemouth or something, to dominate the possession, they're going to actually cut some teams up. I can feel it.
Okay. All right. This is another game I don't have a bet for because when you start getting involved, Man City, just the prices get kind of way wacky, and because I know everybody just wants to jump on City, rightfully so. I'm going to be on this shots on target angle. I can't see Wolves sniffing the goal a handful of times, so we'll see what that number comes in at. But if it comes in at 2.5, I'm probably going to just go ahead and jump on that under. This is also a good possession one. When I was looking up those stats, City had like 70, 65% possession like every game. So we'll see what the possession number comes into at the Etihad. They're going to play keep away from Wolves all day. So we see that one a little bit different, but that's the great part about this show. We don't want to talk the same every 10 games. So I think the viewing audience would find that boring. So good stuff. We'll see how that game unfolds on the pitch. Let's move over now to what is by far the best game of the entire weekend, Matt. On the paper, it's the best game of the weekend. It's Arsenal and Manchester United. Arsenal's only loss this season has come against Manchester United. You are absolutely talking about the 2 hottest teams in the Premier League right now. Nobody's hotter than Manchester United and Arsenal. Obviously, I'm a United fanboy. I'm probably going to sit back and just degen bet this and not tell anybody I bet it, but I'll have money on this bet. But that's just because Arsenal looks fantastic in attack. They look like they're going to create well, they do create a ton of chances. They look like they're going to score, half a dozen goals every single game, but United's got a great defense. And then they also look like they can score half a dozen goals every game. So this could be a classic top 4 under 2.5 cash, or it could be a both teams to score over 2.5, very easy cash. I'm undecided on how I feel. I'll DGen bet it, but I'm not sure. Let's go United.
Draw.
Draw? I'm sure you can get me into a draw.
I think I could be absolutely talked into a draw here. Because I'll tell you this, I'm not going to be betting on Arsenal, and I'm not going to be betting on United in this one. I just think that this is such.
There's no separation between these two clubs. Like if you're
No.
taking one, if you lose it, you're like, it's like, yeah. And if you win it, it goes either way. It's kind of I don't know. It's tough.
It's going to be a match that's decided by some slim stuff. You know what I mean? Like an elbow being offsides, like barely crossing the line. It's going to be scrappy and claw. I mean, the benefit for Arsenal is they're at home. But, I mean, honestly, though, why are Arsenal minus money against United right now? Like, I'm seriously, I think that right there would tell me there is a slight tickle of value on United.
I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why, and maybe I'll have to look it up when I'm done talking, but I'm pretty sure the reverse picture was 3-1, and United got 2 of those goals within like a under 10-minute span. It was like 6-7 minutes. And outside of that, I thought Arsenal had a good performance. I thought they were right in that match. Score looks a little lopsided, 3-1. And again, it was, call it 10 minutes. And now you move this one to the Emirates, and I think because Arsenal just creates so much, their back four has been really sharp. Ramsdale in goal. I think that's why Arsenal probably is a deserved favorite because of where the game is being played. But anybody gets a free.
I think that the draw is a big runner here too, Jason, because I think that either team, yes, they're in great forms and stuff, but they will respect the other opponent and how good a form that they're in. Mm-hmm. So when you're looking towards like the last 15 minutes, like how do you cash a draw bet? You're looking towards the last 10, 15 minutes to saying, all right, we're not going like full guns blazing here to try to score a goal. Like I think that Arsenal, at the end of the day, if this is 1-1 in the 80th minute, I think that they would accept a point here.
Right.
So, and I think that United would say the exact same thing. So, yeah, I think that the draw, you just draw a line down the middle.
At Selhurst Park right now, 70th minute, United's closing up shop, pulled off the debut, so there will not be a debut goal there at Selhurst Park. They brought on McTominay, so they brought on a midfielder. They're sitting at shop and just grinding out for a nice 1-0 result. That being said, does Leeds always concedes, right? Yeah, Cardiff just got a goal. It's 5-1. Both teams are scoring over 2.5 in a Leeds match, so the cows come home, fellas. Just keep betting it. Keep betting it. All right, yeah, that's going to be a great match. That one should be, I believe that's the Sunday late game, and I believe that game wraps up before the NFL playoffs start when the Bills take on the Bengals. So enjoy that game, fellas, and then roll right on into some NFL Sunday between those Bengals and Bills. Let's end it with Monday's clash. It's Fulham and Tottenham. It's Fulham, so I see goals, that's for sure. I want to go back to Tottenham's conceded of an 11 of their last 12. Because this one's at Fulham, I think you could see that number go to 12 of the 13. Fulham at plus money to score first looks really good. Over 2.5 goals look really good. Both teams to score at minus 148 looks good. Both teams to score over 2.5 at plus money looks really good. Look, Fulham have cashed it in 16 of their 20 games. 16 of their 20 games, they've cashed over 2.5. They've cashed over 2.5 in 9 of their 10 games. We were correctly on it last time they were at home against Chelsea. We laid off against Newcastle. Of course I did. I did Newcastle on the clean sheet. Tottenham, they've also cashed in over 2.5, 11 of 19, 5 of 9 on the road. Last 8 head-to-heads have cashed over 2.5 6 times. 6 of those 8 have also included both teams to score. I see goals, much like I like doing both teams scoring over 2.5. I think Fulham is the other team in the league that I love to do it in. So, yeah, sign me up. I just haven't decided on one of those 3. Just a flat over. Do I bring along both teams to score? Or maybe do I just do both teams to score? Something, but goals in this game, that's how I'm betting it. I don't care about a winner.
It looks like a rinse and repeat from like that Fulham home game against Chelsea.
Yeah.
I can't get that out of my head. Like,
yeah.
I think that there's value on Fulham to be able to collect a point, and I would only be on overs because Fulham are one of the best both teams to score and over 2.5 teams in all of Europe. So, so yeah, I think BTTS and over 2.5. And I mean, you could even go a little bit ballsy with it and say both teams are scoring Fulham to get the job done.
Yeah, right.
It wouldn't shock anybody. I don't think it would shock anybody if Fulham got all 3 points there.
What was the player that got the red card? Who are they going to be without? I can't remember who got that red card against Chelsea.
That
No, it
was
was Chelsea that got.
yeah.
It was Felix. Never mind. It's Felix.
Which is a huge boost to Liverpool, I think, this week. You know what I mean? Like, they really just put in Mudryk and stuff. I think that that's my reasoning for liking Liverpool a little bit this week. I think there's just more cohesion still, with Liverpool over Chelsea. Chelsea's scattered as fuck right now.
What about the angle that I threw out there about Tottenham conceding first? Because Fulham's going to be arrested. Tottenham's just going to have to ran around the pitch for 90 minutes chasing the ball off City's foot. Yeah. I'm liking Fulham to score. I'm going to do the overplay, but I just wonder not to add a second play of Fulham to score first at plus money. That one's hitting 11 of the last 12. And if you played all 12 of those, you would have gotten one loss. But those 11 wins would have probably all been at plus money because people love Tottenham. And people assume, well, Tottenham's going to get the job done. And you'd have probably gotten 11 plus money cashes. I'm coming along.
That's 100% a bet. That's worthy of a bet.
Yeah, I'm coming along.
Nothing to go crazy about, but that's a 1-unit play. Fulham.
Exactly. First. Yeah, 1 unit. All right. Okay. Let's give out some official bets here. I'm only got 2 because I'll just add that one. I'm going to add it right now. I'm going to drop them here. Fulham. I'm doing it.
All right. I'll just go through mine, like what my ideas are kind of right now, because this is, it's just the way that it's kind of the nature of the beast right now. Is just this league is. I don't think that you want to lock in stuff like that early. But I got a feeling Haaland probably finds the back of the net tomorrow. Minus 139 is what you said. I don't mind that.
Minus 139. No. That was City money line and under 4.5.
What's the best price on him? I'm seeing minus 165 at Duel, but that generally means that it can be. We've got like a 35. I wouldn't lay the 160, but I would
minus 148 on Barstools for Haaland to get a goal.
That one's iffy. That's another one too. It's like you can wait and bet live. Like I did that. I did that when they played Leeds a couple weeks ago. I think we messaged about that. Like at halftime, it was 0-0, or no, they scored 1-0. City did it right before the break, and then I was like, all right, I'm getting Haaland now at a plus price, so I'll dabble with that. So that's something I'll be looking at for sure. I'll be looking at Chelsea and Liverpool. I'll be looking at the Liverpoolians with their backs against the wall at Anfield. I think that they scrape it. I think they barely scrape it in a close, tight match. Kind of a strong lean, honestly, to Forest, draw no bet against Bournemouth. I probably won't end up getting there, but it's pretty strong. I would definitely not be with Bournemouth, but I know that the head-to-head does say the cherries there. Brighton, Leicester, both teams are scoring over 2.5, or Brighton team total over 1.5. Southampton, Villa, nothing. West Ham, Everton, nothing. But you would slightly lean kind of like it's a similar game. I think, Jason. I think that West Ham and Everton is the same as Liverpool and Chelsea. Just obviously the quality is a little bit lower, but West Ham backs against the wall, Everton backs against the wall. Same with Liverpool and Chelsea, kind of backs against the wall. But I think that the home team has the edge there. You know what I mean? I think that the home crowd pushes them over the line, and I think that West Ham are better than Everton, and I think that Liverpool are better than Chelsea. So kind of lean home sides there. Palace, Newcastle, probably nothing for me. Leeds, Brentford, automatic. Both teams are scoring over 2.5 if it's at a plus price. Wolves hang with Man City, and pretty much pass on Arsenal, United, draw, and Fulham to be the first one to score against Spurs.
All right, I'm going to throw my bets up, but YouTube didn't do me any favors in terms of how it looks. But I'm doing Leeds, Brentford, both teams to score over 2.5, plus 106. A Brighton and Newcastle double chance parlay, minus 150. Fulham, Tottenham, both teams to score over 2.5, plus 104. Fulham to score first, plus 115. The first 3 bets are made at Bet Rivers. Fulham to score first is made over on DraftKings. That's where you get the best price on those 4 bets. I will probably add some more. I'm thinking the Newcastle team total, the Brighton team total, and then we'll just kind of look at shots on goal, of course, for Wolves United. Maybe possession, kind of like how I do like to go those angles, but DraftKings doesn't give those bets out until Friday, so we'll wait on Friday for those bets. All right, Matt, another great show breaking down this weekend's Premier League action. Of course, we'll run it back next week when we'll talk about these games and then kick off another preview for 10 more weeks. Appreciate everybody dropping in some great comments. Appreciate you guys hanging. And if you're enjoying the replay, hit that like button and also drop in that comment section. Let us know what bets you'll be on. All right, Matt, good luck this week up against Chelsea. Get those 3 points.
Come on, Liverpool.
See you, man.
See ya.